Hello, this is Chiak. We are back with Gabriel Knight's Sins of a Father, where we are able to get the information about next crime scene. Let's click M. Oh, okay, I was like... Oh, here we go. Exit to Greater New Orleans map. Okay. I see the glowing, but for some reason my mouse wasn't showing up. Here we go. What's this? French Quarter in Lake Pontchartrain? I don't know how to pronounce that. Gabriel, I need you to say it.
Hey, Mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess I can let you see it. For the book. But don't tell anyone, huh?
Just say it right beside that guy. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Definitely another voodoo murder. Same MO and no freaking clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
Oh, that's disgusting. Isn't this a rather public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're freaking ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that? Good day, Miss Gedde.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Malia Gedde. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Nah, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir.
Well, let's get the meat wagon moving then. Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck and the water moccasins, though. If you want to talk, I'll be at the station tomorrow.
Thanks.
Wait, you're going in the back of the car? Am I seeing this correctly? Oh, hello. Wait, was this there before?
Ugh, that's a lot of blood.
I don't imagine we can do anything with
I've got
this.
no way to take that with me, and I don't want to.
Yeah, figured. Okay, marks.
There's a pattern to the lines in the sand, but only one small area is clearly defined.
Okay.
Gabriel can't take the lines without some help.
I keep seeing the gel in that's popping up, so...
That doesn't seem to work that way.
Okay, you know, just making sure. Oh, these are
Looks
tracks.
like there was something here. I should take a closer look. Looks like there was some...
I'm sorry, do you want me to walk to it and then click it?
Looks like there was...
Okay, we did the gear icon. Okay. Oh, footprints? Hopefully not your footprints. Oh, I see. The big... Wait. Oh, no. Okay. What is it that I'm looking for right now? Also, was this a bobby pin? Do we need it? Do we need to... Oh, I see. This is The reason why this keeps showing up is because it's selected. Hold on. Can I unselect it? Oh, magnifying glass. That would do it. Okay. Now, I do not know what we're looking for. Oh, this so. Oh, this.
The marks are actually deep indentations in a regular mesh pattern. The magnifying glass is an
A curiosity, if I go up here. Oh, okay. So I could just click the space bar if I want to see if there's anything more to look at.
Something small and iridescent is barely visible in the sand.
Or the game can tell me with a little chime. Okay.
It looks like a scale of some sort. The scale is too delicate to pick up by hand.
Oh, okay. Tweezers. Let's use.
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small, iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
Where are you keeping this? Not in your pocket, right?
Lake Pontchartrain is impressive. It measures 24 miles across and stretches as far as the eye can see.
Okay, Lake Pontchartrain. Will we need a magnifying glass for
There's
this?
nothing worth magnifying in that particular location.
I can hear the condensation, ma'am. Okay. Clay
The banks
here.
of Lake Pontchartrain are rich with clay deposits.
Any reason you need to pick that up? Apparently. Unless you're just going to tell me you can't take it with you.
I'll take some of this clay with me.
Okay, we're just going to put it in our pockets. I'm just imagining this man is carrying around like bags upon bags of Ziploc bags. Bag within a bag within a bag within a bag. Okay, please.
Lakeshore Drive runs around the entire lake. This is a particularly lonely stretch, but it's still a public road.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Police tape, but then it says road on the... Odd. Okay, I think we should just leave now. Don't think there is anything else for us here. Not that I'm aware of. Okay. Is that... Apparently the vegetation, I could look at that.
Gabriel is on the sand and clay shores of Lake Pontchartrain, at a site where some poor bastard got to see who the voodoo murderers really are.
Okay, I think with that, we should leave. Now... Just because it's a new area, I want to see where that is. Oh! French... Okay, so this specifically, this entire thing is the French Quarter. Okay, got it. He says he's in tomorrow, so there's no point for me to go back. I think I need to head back to the shop.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
I got some research for
party
you.
time.
Got some work for you.
That doesn't work that way.
Okay, fine. Can we get her? Do we have research points for her
Got
to
a minute, Grace?
What's
talk
up?
to do? Here you go.
Could
research
you do
request.
some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you see what
Oh,
you
no.
can find out about a woman named Malia Gedde?
The name Gedde sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you can get an address.
The murders, right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
Just kind of stalking.
I can't think of anything. Do you know anything about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes, you know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Mm-hmm. I know very little about reptiles of any kind, and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
I know
Okay,
there's a book
thanks.
about snakes. I just have to go up that ladder. Any messages?
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Oh my God.
Okie dokie. Well, that's all the messages for now.
I don't think you can just ignore those messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Oh wait, you
I've
said
given
you...
everything to you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna walk away now. Okay, let's go up the ladder. Because the book about snakes is up
If
there.
you try to look down my shirt one more time,
Just
Ma'am.
try it.
I know what you're...
Shush. We don't need to have this conversation again. Oh, do I have to just go look at the bookshelf? Oh, I thought I had to go up the ladder. Okay, well, snakes. Where's the snakes? World of snakes. Oh, right. We did have a look at this, and it says nothing. Okay, I'm guessing not here then. Okay, let's see what his, that motorcycle cop in the park has a police band radio on his bike. If only I could get him to leave it for 5 minutes. I might be able to find out where the crime scene is. Come on, Knight. You're clever, aren't you? The body at the crime scene on Lake Pontchartrain was horribly gruesome. Another poor bastard with his heart ripped out. There must be some clues I can find in the area. Something for the book. I have died and gone to heaven. Malia Gedde is the most gorgeous woman in Louisiana. I have to see her again. What excuse can I make up? I'll think of something. I found the snake scale at the Lake Pontchartrain crime scene. It's not much, but it could be important. If I could figure out what snake it came from and who the snake belonged to, imagine the headlines. Now that would be something even my lazy literary agent could work with. Okay. So.
The books on the table have been chosen for their special... Gabriel can't see any way.
Okay. Is this the only book we can look at? Because I don't know where else, Books. Books?
Gabriel doesn't feel like...
Okay, but I don't need you... Okay, well,
Several
actually,
dozen books,
technically...
including a few of Gabriel's novels.
I was about to say, I'm like, I don't need you to read, but then if we're looking up about the snake scale, we're gonna need you to read. And I have no one to call, dresser, rug, chair, garbage bin, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So he's not gonna be at the office. Mosley, I should say, specifically.
The sign says the overlook's closed.
Posted on...
My mouse disappeared.
The Dixieland drugstore is closed until
Okay,
tomorrow
interesting.
morning.
So I have to wait for that to... The reason why the mouse is disappearing is because I skipped the dialogue, but I still technically have to wait for the dialogue to finish. Got it. I don't know where else to go right now, which is why I'm wandering around.
Curtain confess.
Okay.
Someone is in.
Okay. I'm sure we're done with the crime scene, right? I'm gonna have one last look. Maybe I should just see if he can head to bed. It's the only other thing I can think of. But then I already took a look at everything. Police tape, vegetation, blood. Okay. I didn't try the head to bed option, so let's try to head to bed.
Hello, beautiful.
The excitement of...
Okay, we don't need you two talking.
It's Gabriel's.
Oh, shoot. We're done? Or is he just gonna say he doesn't want to go to sleep?
It's no use. I can't sleep.
Okay, good to know. So... Maybe I need to show... Can I show her the scale? I think I already tried that though, right? Maybe
That
not.
doesn't work, Dad. Gabriel opens a cash register to examine the take. Or in the case of St. George's books, the mistake.
What's that? Gift certificate?
It's a $20 gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion.
Can we take one?
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
The cash register contains about...
Gabriel, that's all the change I have. Touch it and you can kiss your hand goodbye.
Would I do that to you?
Gabriel, she's trying to run your business. Money, 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 money. Okay. Coffee? You want another coffee? Listen, I don't know what else to do with you right now, so...
Good coffee.
Maybe with the... Excuse me as I chew on the croissant. Can I? Oh no, see you can't bring up the item. So that doesn't help.
Gabriel leaves through...
Dry means 3.
So what else am I supposed to do now? Okay, last place I haven't checked. I don't think we need to go back to Jackson Square, so the only place I can think of is the police station. But we know Mosley is not going to be there, so I don't understand. There's just really no reason for us to be here. Let's try chatting.
Can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
What can you tell me about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He left for the day. Sorry.
Come on, you can tell me where the crime scene is.
Look, I know the paper's got everybody stirred up about these...
So this is a new voodoo murder then?
Hey, I didn't say that. You'll read all about it in the papers tomorrow. I'm sure.
Okay. Let's exit then. I don't think there's anything more. I guess let's just try to use the hint system because... Go to the police station to learn about the crime scene. Learn the location of the crime scene by way of the cop of Jackson Square. Visit the crime scene while there. Find the snake skull and copy... Oh! Copy the pattern in my sketchbook. Oh. So I need to have... Okay, sorry. I wasn't thinking about that. Oh, shoot. Oh my bad. No. I don't know why. I was thinking like the sketchbook will... For some reason in my head, maybe it's from a different game. I was thinking the sketchbook would pop up as some sort of other... But I need to choose it here. Then mark it here. Okay. I don't know. I thought I had its own separate icon for some reason. Okay, now we're done. There we go. And then the music told us so. We're done. So now
it's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're done with the day. Day 2. A mask I wore as I approached. I was what I am not, and though the pattern was unclear, its meaning could be bought.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen. So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hanged guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Gedde?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Gedde is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is?
Hey, far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West Ingram. That's the Garden District. Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Gedde is the most dangerous-looking diversion I have ever seen. Ouch.
Ugh, men.
Okay, so new day. Need to look about snakes. Any new messages while we just got in?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope, none right now.
Alright, well let's leave then. Goodbye! So, I assume we can find more about snakes in one of the other locations? I mean, there's now locations open up to us, so...
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
Dixieland Drugstore, Voodoo Museum.
Welcome, my friend. Hello. I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
Can't help but notice the snake in the background, right behind that guy. Oh. What?
Something about the shape of that knife gives Gabriel the creeps.
Like, you have wall and then you have specifically the knife. Okay, we can't just take the knife, obviously.
The back wall displays various voodoo items, such as offerings of fruits to the voodoo deities. That must be Marie Laveau. The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
A skull?
Wonder who that poor bastard was. This coffin is so small. A waste of some perfectly good wine, if you ask me.
Coffin. I'm gonna try to find it with. Whoa! This mask? What is this mask? Oh my god, that's just in the background too.
They lend a certain psychotic ambiance, no? Will that look sacrilegious?
Flyer.
Magenta Moonbeam. Voodoo Inn.
Can we take it?
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodoo inn. Her parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
Now, what is a voodoo inn? Okay, that is it. So oh wait, we didn't see the voodoo doll.
It wouldn't be much of a voodoo museum without a voodoo doll.
Okay. Candles.
Flickering candles lend an appropriately spooky atmosphere to the museum.
All right.
An authentic-looking pole marks the center of the room. Authentic what? Gabriel isn't sure. An official voodoo wishing stump. Rub it and make a wish, a card says.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
Oh my goodness.
Large, elaborate drums occupy a corner of the museum. Gabriel doesn't recognize the museum's flags. A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
Is that it? Oh, the gourd.
A beaded gourd is on display.
All right, Doctor?
Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so pleasant, he'd be intimidating.
Let's chat.
Could I ask you a few questions?
That is why I am here.
Okay, let's ask him everything but the important thing.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper. I know they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate. And for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So you know nothing about the voodoo murders case?
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States, as far as I am concerned.
What is it about New Orleans that you so admire?
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight. Amid the horrid blandness that is Americana, New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true New Orleanian. Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah. You have perhaps noticed the museum snake, Mr. Knight? They are beautiful creatures. Do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Is this snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us just say I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No, the museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Just tell me anything.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am not an easy person to get to know. I am a very private man.
Isn't that unusual for someone in the museum business?
Not at all. My displays speak for me.
Okay.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then let us discuss something else.
Okay, well...
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo, or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
It's a historical
Tell me about
first.
historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion, formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importings of slaves from that region.
Okay. Oh, wait, there's still more.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian Revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons, at the place Congo Square. the slaves and free people of color gather to dance simulations of their voodoo dances, right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continue to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Okay.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in the religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo, but it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Oh, okay, not much for the current voodoo. Either way, Marie Laveau.
Tell me about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the gree-gree are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooians in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans. The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However she achieved it.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously, very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius, rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living. Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands, of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of hoodoo.
Okay.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when Widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The Widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the Widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to end the set here. So, thank you for liking if you liked, thank you for commenting if you commented, thank you for subscribing if you subscribed, and thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, guys, see ya!